And then we go to the ring. The Ring of Honor World TV title, which is now owned by Nick Plain with Christian Cage and Mama and the whole group. They bring Rhino in to be Nick's opponent. Rhino is from Detroit. People remembered him. He was over with them. He was probably one of the more popular guys when the people saw him on the show because they remember him when wrestling was kind of good. And he was good. And now he looks more like Bam Bam Bigelow right now. He's gained a little weight, but he's retired, right? But the fans were into him. I don't think that anybody, including Rhino, wanted to go 15 minutes at 100 miles an hour with this kid, but what the fuck would they beat him in 2 minutes? And it was so preposterous. Literally, Rhino does a tackle, and then this dipshit just cut him off. He didn't heal him. He just stopped him, put a boot up, and drop kicked him off the turnbuckle. Didn't even poke him in the eye. And he gets 30 seconds of heat. And then Rhino makes a comeback. Kid takes 3 bumps. Rhino hits him with a spine buster. It looked like $1 million, got a 2 count, and went for the gore. And again, the kid avoided the gore and caught Rhino with the, what they call it now, the unprettier Christian's finish. But not in any cheating way. And it looked like shit. And you could tell that he didn't know how to do it. And boom, it was there, and he covered him 1, 2, 3. And the fans started chanting, bullshit, bullshit. They weren't chanting bullshit because the guy won. They were chanting bullshit because of how it happened and in the time it happened in.
Well, if the company's whole thing is pushing the quality of the matches, and then you do something like this where the fans are actually excited to see a match and you take it away quickly, what do you expect?
Exactly. And it is I'm always up for seeing Rhino. But if he wasn't up for, in shape for whatever, for 6 or 7 minutes, and the kid be a heel so that it meant something, then just don't do it.
Hey, what do you think of this Christian Nick Wayne thing? Is it worth it for it to play out? Are you into it at all, or do you just want it all to go away?
But I think at this point it all needs to go away because the whole thing is, if this is going to be some way that they can eventually, as you're predicting, get Christian and Edge back together, it's an awful odd way to go about it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is that. I think eventually.
Well, they ought to get moving. It's not like anybody wants to wait 6 months to see the resolution of any of this shit.
Because the other option is that I'm all for elevating people, and Edge certainly should elevate people, but not Daniel Garcia. So if it's like Edge and Daniel Garcia versus FTR, I'd rather him just team with Christian, and let's get some memorable tag matches.
Well, but also here's the thing, Christian, instead of spending this much time on, as I mentioned on last week's show, Nick Wayne, sure, he's a wonderful young man. They signed him before he was ready. He looks like any other indie guy. He's 19 or 20 years old. He needs to be bigger. He needs more experience. He needs somebody to tell him how to fucking be a heel if he's going to be one. And he's on national TV. If they had to put Christian with Hobbs and give him this concerted long-term oomph behind him. Or, again, where's Wardlow?
Where's Wardlow? On top of the mountain.
Is he? He's on top of the mountain waiting for Darby. They're going to pull the trigger on that. It's going to be the biggest angle in the history of wrestling. But the point is, if they pick the proper talent to put veterans with to try to bring them up, it might work. But the Danny Garcias and the Wheeler Uselesses and the Nick Plains of the world are not them. And then it just gets in the way. And then they shortchange the people there. And then the next match, they think, well, this will make up for it. Where again, you have to sit through Ricochet and Maddie and Nikki, the Buckaroos, going 20 minutes or whatever the fuck it is with poor Mark Briscoe, Hong Kong Phooey, and Swerve Strickland. Swerve, one of their main event guys, is teaming up with poor Mark Briscoe, who just won a match last week after 3 years, and Ricky Steamboat's little daughter. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It looks visually ridiculous. And then when the Buckaroos come in, the people are said they don't give a shit because they don't want to see those two little ass wipes. So
they can't get any reaction unless they overwhelm people with spots. So that by the time you're done reacting to the first thing, the next thing has happened. And that keeps happening. And then you're exhausted. And then you clap.
And then it makes no difference when more people do it because you've already seen it.
And then one person after another runs into the center of the ring and does their spot, and then the other person lays down. I mean, we've seen everything they do.
Yeah.
The crowd doesn't give a shit about them.
No, if you want a review of the match, listen to one that we did from 5 years ago because it's the same thing, but now with more phooey. And again, what is the audience for Douche Bailey? Is it effeminate midget fans of Kung Fu movies? Who is the target audience for that grinning nitwit?
I want to see him go in there with the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh.
Everyone's like, he's a black belt. Okay, put him in there with Lashley.
He'll be a black and blue belt. And then finally they ended it. One of the Buckaroos pinned Swerve with a small package. They beat Swerve.
It was Matt Buckaroo, I believe.
Well, there you go.